So my name is Jane Nkechi Egerton-Idehen, and I'm the MD CEO for NIGCOMSAT, which is Nigerian Communications Satellite. That's the satellite company owned by the government of Nigeria.
Yes.
And I do like your question, which is, what have been the challenges? So since taking up this role, I took up this role about 9 months ago.
Okay.
I think one of the things that has been very clear to me is the awareness of actually what the satellite can do, or what satellite technology can do. And we have very low adoption because we don't have very good awareness about what satellite technology can do for a country like Nigeria, for example.
Okay.
And it is fascinating because satellites are massive, complex projects to run. It takes a lot to pull over $200 million and launch this thing in the sky for connectivity and other value it can bring. And yet, people are not aware and we're not using it. So I embarked on that mission to help tell stories in a way people can understand the value it brings just to normal life, Because when I come and tell you, we have a satellite, it's got 30 transponders, KUC band, people get lost. What is KA band, KU band, C band? So one of the things we have started is to tell the stories from use cases. What we do is to provide connectivity for your grandma in the rural part of Bayelsa or Imo State or in the north, where she cannot connect because there's no normal coverage. So there's no normal mobile operator like MTN, Airtel, and we can provide coverage. So you can call her. So she can have Wi-Fi to access you. So what we do is in that remote area where there is farming, but like in all areas where you do large-scale farming, it's difficult to have connectivity because there is no commercial value to do that in most cases. We provide connectivity for large-scale farmers to do things like smart agriculture. You want to do precision agriculture, soil IoTs, and all that. You need connectivity. We can do that. What we do is to provide connectivity for like oil companies, because they do oil dredging on rigs. They have all these rigs that are in the middle of the ocean. And your terrestrial traditional connectivity cannot exist in the middle of nowhere like the ocean. There is no infrastructure for that. But for satellite technology, once we have a sky, like we say, we can communicate. We provide connections for them. So we use these use cases to bring awareness. And I think since we started doing that, we've seen some changes. The people are just being curious. People want to know. People want to understand how they can use it. And we see a lot of enterprises actually coming because we are seeing changes in the security or defense industry. A lot of awareness now. We're engaging a lot of them. In the rural connectivity space, like I said, because that's one of the great uses of satellite. Because you don't have the limitation of your normal terrestrial, so you can exist anywhere. If it's a village with 5 people, we can pull connectivity there. A village with 1 person, we can. The normal terrestrial network, it doesn't make business case to. So we're working a lot with the rural operators. So people that build rural networks, we do a lot of work with them. We work a lot of people with oil and gas, mining. So these are sectors that would normally exist in places that is difficult to serve because they're remote or underserved. And we do a lot of work with them. So I think that's one of the advantage of creating awareness, is that we're now beginning to get people to understand the cases they can use it and ways they can relate. And businesses being more aware means that they will engage for our services.
Yes.
It's 9 months, but sometimes it feels like like a century. So some of the things we've done in the past time, I think it was clear to set a strategic intent because we wanted to be sure that we had a clear vision of where we are headed. So we had built up a whole strategy blueprint, with our clear pillars. We want to attack things like have a clear strategy, innovation, public-private partnership was important, making sure we have infrastructure, it's so key. And the infrastructure is continuous and reliable was important. The people was important. Then branding. But branding and comms is important. Well,
100%.
By nature, technology can be scary, and when it's satellite technology, people are kind of,
it's just
of it as well. But all the things we've also done is learn to collaborate, like as part of the strategies, and work with others to actually deliver. So within the past, since the past 3 or 4 months, we've signed with a lot of rural network operators to help them because they build rural sites. We provide connectivity. So we can provide connectivity for them to build rural sites. So companies like Infratel, companies like HubSpot that provide rural networks, we're working with them. some of the things we're also doing, though sometimes we cannot share too much details, is working with the defense industry in Nigeria. So the Ministry of Defense, the DSA, the Defense Headquarters, the Navy, the Army. There's so much we can work, because sometimes they are working in places that are difficult to connect or difficult to reach, or sometimes they want a private network. So that's the good thing with satellite. You might want to create, because of security, you want to create a network that's exclusive to you without the interference of commercial networks, and we can create those kind of services for them. So we've been working with them. But some of the commercial ones are like very visible. Broadcasting, we do broadcasting. So a lot of the broadcasters, they bond. Today, as I'm speaking to you, we are going to be having a session with Bond and announcing publicly our partnership with Bond. We have created a package for broadcasters in Nigeria, because we carry broadcasting traffic. Like we back all the traffic for NTA, which is the nation's foremost broadcaster. So now we're doing that for private TV stations all across the the country. So that's some of the things we do. Others, I could go on and on, but it's something we're doing which has been very public of recent, is working with the Federal Ministry of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy to provide connectivity to all the 774 local government secretariats in Nigeria. So we call it 774 project, because that's what we are doing. We're providing connectivity. And I think within the past 3 months, we've done 40 local governments. We've gone to 8 states. But the target is to go to all 36 states and all 774 local governments. So that work has already come. So there's a lot that's happening. Some of them are visible, some of them are not visible, some of them are in the early stages. But the plan is to create value so people can relate to the services we can provide. And so they can also engage. And some of them are very commercial, like I said, so they're actually paid for service. But some of them, because it's our mandate to provide connectivity to unreached places in Nigeria.
Oh, fantastic.
I think one of the big things I've been thinking about, I would love to see happen, is where Africa and Nigeria really sits at the table when it comes to technology. Because we know that technology will drive digital economy. So to drive digital services, which is another way to grow your economy. Because right now, with the way emerging technology is, it will influence every sector. Traditional sector, create new sectors, create the whole new economy. And it's so empowering, because like today, lots of people have been talking about, the youthful population of Africa, the fact that over 40% are 15 years and below. That means that's that beautiful age where people are not afraid of technology. They are early adopters. They take risks. They try new AI, blockchain. They're not scared. They really go for it, and that in itself is an asset. But you really have to be at the stage where you're also driving the technology. We're involved in co-creating, in driving the advancement of that technology. And I would love to see Africa there. I would love to see that more African countries. There are 54 African countries. Only about 14 of them have satellites. I'd like to see more African countries able to launch their own satellites, because they can bridge the digital divide by providing connectivity. So what is important for me is that Africa also becomes less of a consumer of technology, but we also create, we also innovate, we also export.
Right.
That for me is
the big, yes. Fantastic.
I think for us, collaboration is a key part of our strategy, like I told you. Sometimes it's public, sometimes it's private partnerships, and we are being very intentional about it. So things like being at this event, that's one of the reasons I will come for an event like this. Because this is where you find partners and collaborators. You can be collaborators as investors, or collaborators for technology. And there's a lot of discussion, and some of them, a lot of them not yet public, going on a different level, because now we're being intentional. We're going to rooms and spaces where we meet. And one of the very, I would say, basic ones we've done as part of the collaborative effort is to collaborate with the private sector. So earlier in the year, we started what we call an accelerator program, but it was a space accelerator program where we were targeting startups in the space sector. And currently they're going through some kind of incubation or, deep dive session, and we are enabling them with the hope of going to market together with them. That's the plan. So when they go through that incubation, for us, you can innovate internally, but you can innovate by actually absorbing innovation from outside. That's what we want to do. So that's one way we are collaborating. So we're doing that also beyond the startups. We're also seeking for partners that have innovative ideas in and outside Nigeria. A lot of them we're engaging in the military sector, which is defense, in agriculture. A lot of them we're engaging because we want to go together with that. See, to solve the everyday problems, it takes more than one person's idea. We're also collaborating with people that want to invest in the sector as well. So we're talking to a lot of people that are interested in investing, advancing the technology sector. I'm trying not to mention names, but a lot of them has got to do with pushing, bridging the digital divide on the African continent. And that's where everybody's coming with their strengths. So everybody doesn't have to be a connectivity provider like we do. Others have other things they can bring to the table, and we can work together to advance Africa. So for us, it's at the forefront, and we're very intentional about it. Interesting, it will be different from different sectors. Normally for the enterprise and private sector, we normally use the slogan, we are open for business. But I think it looks very simple, but it's quite heavy. Because open for business could mean different things for different people. It could mean the fact that we are open to innovate together with you. We are open to collaborate with you. We are open to help work with you, address whatever concerns we have. It could also mean we're just open for business to engage commercially. And I say this because for us, it means quite a lot. We're open for business. It's more than just being commercially driven. We're open to help drive the agenda that is required to, push the whole digital service, digital economy forward. So I think for me, that's my key big takeaway or key message I would like to share, because just saying that means that you give people permission to engage. That's what we want to see. People engage with NIGCOMSAT. People are willing to have these conversations with us. And we can work together to have the future we want.
Yes, fantastic. Thank you very much, Mara. Thank you for making the interview. It's been awesome having you here.
Same here.
Thank you.
Same here. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.